Dear viewers, you're still watching The Breakfast Show. Time now for topic number 2 here on this morning's edition. And archaeologists here in Egypt recently discovered a secret chamber inside the Great Pyramid of Giza, which might lead to a real-life chamber of secrets. To shed more light on the issue, we are delighted to be joined over the phone with tourism counselor, Dr. Yehya Abdul. A very good morning to you, Dr. Abdul. Always a pleasure to have you with us. And first of all, we need to learn more about the significance of this discovery and its archaeological importance, sir.
Well, good morning to you, and thank you so much. Actually, like a group of the researchers of the School of and the College of Engineering at the Cairo University, they've been working tirelessly for the past 7 years with foreign expeditions in Egypt, like Japanese, French, Canadian, and from Germany. And they came across, like this discovery. They discovered the shaft at the north front of the Cheops Great Pyramid at Giza. It's 9 meters long and 2 meters wide, and it is directed to the north. And the discovery, and its research compilation will be currently, released in Nature scientific publications worldwide. So this is a great discovery because, as we all know, the Egyptian architecture and civilization is based on cosmology, the galaxies, the stars, the planets, and that's why everything, like the pyramids, the tombs, the temples, the funerary one, the mortuary one, has been designed to be like, like very much simulating the stars and the galaxies in the sky.
Yes, Dr. Abdul, it seems every day there is a new discovery in Egypt about the secret of ancient Egyptians. We need to learn more about what is called the Scan Pyramids project from you, sir, and why was the pyramid, the last, of course, of the 7 wonders of the world still standing, has been undergoing those scans?
Well, really, as I already mentioned, everything, constructed for about 10,000 years was very much, simulated, because the ancient Egyptian, they believed Egypt is paradise on earth. And the Nile, River Nile, the sacred one, is the Milky Way. So everything, like east and west, north and south, were designed according to the stars in the sky. And the famous, like American Egyptologist Carl Sagan once he made a coin, like he coined a phrase statement that as of below, there is above. So, like everything constructed, simulating all the cosmology, like in the sky. For example, like the Giza Plateau necropolis, like the 3 Great Pyramids. This is a simulation of the Orion constellation. Yes. And this Orion constellation, the 3 stars, they align every 2,740 years. So for them to construct these pyramids, it took them at least to 10 to 15,000 years to observe, like the star and the cosmology, and then the design, like the Great Pyramids according to mythology and to the legend that believed in, which is entirely true.
Right. Dr. Abdul, what about the most important discoveries recently that were related to the pyramids of Giza?
Well, like great discoveries as well, like we discovered, for example, the Labas, like city, because, like, as like writers and romances, they like to say that, like aliens came and helped the Egyptians with the construction, but Professor, like Reiner from the University of Pennsylvania, in association with Egyptian Egyptologists, discovered the city of workers and laborers outside the Giza Plateau, where we had, like everything, aligned for like about 10,000 workers to start their shifts, like, and their food supply and their granaries and everything. So the Giza Plateau is, like shrouded, like with mystery because of its magnitude. And it's, as we say, it's like one of the great 7 wonders that's left for civilization and for the whole world to like ponder about and try to decipher its secrets worldwide.
Yes. Who was King Cheops, Dr. Abdul Qader, the dynasty he belonged to, and the mummy of Cheops? Was the mummy of Cheops ever found, and was he really buried in his immortal pyramid, according to you?
Well, definitely, yeah. I mean, like the Great Pyramids, the three ones, Cheops, Khafre, and Mykiranus. You know, like the dynasty, fourth dynasty of the Old Kingdom, you know, designed to be the imperial sites. But unfortunately, you know, like there was, you know, like some violations of the archaeology because, you know, it have treasures since old times, but we have only a small statue, you know, like very miniature, displayed at the Tahrir Square Museum of Antiquities. But as we all know, you know, like the Great Pyramid of Giza has many secrets as well. For example, it was said that, you know, like metals and materials, if it's kept over there in the burial chamber, it will never deteriorate, it will never be spoiled, when it will be sharpened and intact place. And remember the sun boat that he kept, two sun boats, you know, like next to the Cheops pyramid, his pyramid. So when it's time for him to depart from this world, he was going to join, you know, like the deities, you know, like in heaven, and Ra, you know, like an Amun. That's why we have two great sun boats buried 4,000 years ago next to the Great Pyramid of Giza.
Yes. Dr. Abdul Qader, could you tell us about some of the techniques that are used in the current searches and the Scan Pyramids project?
Well, they use the ultrasound, you know, like waves to decipher this, and I think they are going to be using a miniature robot, you know, because they want to discover more, you know, like the Great Pyramid of Giza is loaded with mystery, you know, and I met scientists when I was a tourist council in New York, and they told me they were working in the rocket labs, and they told me it was like a source of energy for that time. And some others say, you know, like they believe, you know, like water was used to push, you know, like the magnitude of the stones, which is 4 and 8 and 10 tons, instead of like hard labor, you know, as we see from the paintings and the imagination of the architects, you know, like our time now. So there's lots of speculation about the pyramid, and it is loaded with mystery. And at least we know that it was built over 20 to 25 years. And that is going to be during the flood times, you know, like when the whole country was flooded and there was abundance of labor, 10, 20,000, that, you know, like the Pharaoh thought that it was idle, so it was for them to do something memorial for the Pharaoh who was like king and, you know, like commander of chief, and he was like a demigod at the time of their vision and mythology.
And Dr. Abdul Qader, how would such searches and discoveries help us understand the methods used to build this miracle, of course, the pyramids, I mean?
Yeah, well, it's a great civilization because, you know, like look at the statue of Ramesses, you know, like a display of the Grand Egyptian Museum, you know, like as 12 meters high, it's like about 8 tons. And the same Pharaoh had like an obelisk in the quarries in Aswan, you know, like in the granite, and it's called unfinished, you know, like obelisk, because they used to dig it, and one of it, some of it would be like 400 or 600 tons load, you know, and they will carry it all the way, you know, like some of it were moved, you know, like and transported through the Nile. So they had a very high technology compared to 6,000, 7,000 years ago. They were so advanced and so, you know, like devoted to the science and technology and beliefs. And even like their awareness with the environment and the ecology around them, you know, like the plants, the animals, the water, everything they try to keep intact.
All right.
Because they have a strong belief in the religion and mythology.
All right. Thank you very much, Dr. Yehya Abdul Qader, tourist counselor, for your insight. Sir, it's been very informative, and thanks as always for keeping us company here on The Breakfast Show. Dear viewers, by this we've come to the end of this morning's edition of The Breakfast Show. On behalf of my dear colleague Dina Hussein and everybody here at the program, this is Mohammed Abdelrahim wishing you a very good day. Don't forget our French language transmission will resume in about 10 minutes or 11 minutes from now. Stay with 9 TV International.